Hey you, welcome back to my channel and thank you for watching this video. I am Emilio, a registered nurse currently working as a clinical practice facilitator, taking care of all pre-registration nursing students that does clinicals at the hospital that I work. Today I'm going to be talking to you about something that takes up approximately 50 to 60% of nursing students' lives whilst they're studying. And it is quite a touchy topic because sometimes it can be quite daunting for nursing students. And if you've guessed clinicals or you clicked on the video because you've seen the subtitle, yes, that is exactly what I'm going to be talking about. Surviving clinicals. Those words that really makes nursing students' hearts race, their minds going at 360 miles an hour, and their hands shaking. So if you would like my top 5 tips on how you can survive clinicals, then stick around. Before I get into my top 5 tips on how you can survive clinicals, I want to take you back to my journey as a nursing student. In my first ever video, I explained to you when I was a nursing student, sometimes I had days where I would go home from clinicals and cry, go to bed, and before I knew it, I had to wake up and do that same routine all over again. But there are good days and there are bad days, and I think it can be the general consensus for most nursing students. On the other hand, there are some nursing students who really find it hard to get to clinicals or to just face clinicals. So whichever category you fall into, I hope that these tips will be very, very beneficial for you and that they will help you to get through nursing school. But before I get into my tips, please remember that you are an investment to yourself. So saying that you aren't motivated to come to clinicals because you aren't being paid, you're actually paying for your education, and you should take that quite seriously because that's an investment that you're putting into yourself, and it's a lot of money to be blown if you know. Anyway, let's get into the video. Tip 1 is, I would always say to my students whenever they talk about coming to clinicals for the very first time, is that they make contact with the unit that they're going to before they actually start clinicals. And the reason why I say that is for 2 important things. 1, it allows you to ask the ward manager or any senior team member on in that clinical area the ins and outs, what the ward is about, so that you can gain more information about the placement that you're going to. Remember, when the in-placement team posts where you're going, they give a brief description of what the ward is, but they don't have an in-depth, analysis of how the ward functions or what really, the daily routine of the ward. So calling the ward just to find out what it's like and what their daily routine is quite important. And also you get to ask very important questions, other important questions like, what time do you start? And the reason why I say that this is a very important question is because some units actually do start at 7:30 and some actually starts at 8. So imagine if your previous placement started at 8, but this placement that you're going to actually starts at 7:30, then you're going to be half an hour late. So it's quite good to call the unit just to find out what is going on, anything that you need to have before you actually do come into placement. So that's my very first tip on how you can actually score brownie points and survive clinicals. Which takes me on to my second tip. My second tip is arriving on time. Arriving on time scores you extra brownie points because it shows that you are a keen student, ready to learn, and that you're taking your placement very seriously. Now, I can't stress how much arriving on time is important, and how much we as practice supervisors, practice assessors, team leads look at you when we see a student walking in 20 minutes late and not calling the unit to say that they're running late and what time that we should expect them. So arriving on time actually says a lot to us. It shows us who you are as an individual and that you're striving to be a professional nurse in the future. And when you arrive on time, especially if you're going to a very new placement, what that allows you to do is to clear your head and prepare yourself for placement. It allows you to grab a cup of tea or coffee, whichever you'd prefer, and then just get your things ready before you actually start placement. Now, this third point, I'm going to have to really, I want to talk to you like how I talk to my students. That third point is, girl, look presentable. Look presentable. I want to see, and I love to see my students with their hair above, off their shoulder, well done, their uniform well pressed, and they're wearing the correct shoes. Why are you wearing the wrong shoe coming to placement? Don't you know that you actually have to wear all black shoe? And it's not just black shoe that is easy to be wiped off, not cloth. Just follow the guidelines. That's all I'm going to say. Follow the guidelines. Look presentable. When you look presentable, it doesn't only translate over to us who will sign off your e-pads and who are looking at you as prospect or possible colleagues that we're going to be working with in the future. It also translates over to your patients that you're taking care of and their relatives, that you are someone that they should be happy to have to take care of their relatives or them as patients. Look at it this way. Imagine if you were a patient in bed and you had, nurse A who didn't wear the appropriate shoe, her hair was messy, and she didn't look presentable, as opposed to nurse B who really followed all the guidelines. Proper shoe, attire was well done, hair was well done, and she just looked like what is meant to be a nurse. You would choose nurse B over nurse A, and your confidence in nurse A would be way much more higher than that of nurse B. And that is exactly how patients and their relatives look at you when you present yourself to them. So always look presentable, because everyone is watching you. Okay, now, y'all better come in here. Come. Like when I tell you that this point is gonna score you way much more brownie points. I keep saying it's gonna score you brownie points, but this point is going to really take you to places when you do what I'm gonna tell you to do. And that is ask loads of questions. Too often, we see students in clinicals making a long list of notes and not asking questions. We know that you're there to learn, and we know that the clinical environment is yours for the day. So we're expecting you to ask us questions to help build your knowledge. Because when you build your knowledge, you're going to build your confidence. And that's what we want you to exude. We want to see confident nursing students strutting across our clinical room, our bays, taking care of our patients and being safe. And that's the only way you're going to be confident and safe. If you ask questions to build your knowledge. So ask questions to build your knowledge. It's the only way you're going to find out why we do certain things a certain way, why certain things are like that for a patient presenting with certain conditions or symptoms. If you sit back and you don't ask questions, then you're not going to learn. We don't want to be the one to always constantly be coming over to say, come on, let's do this. What do you think about this? We know we have to do that, but we know that you have questions also, and we can't read minds. So ask us loads of questions. That takes me to my final point of being proactive. Yes. Girl, if you want to score so much brownie points that we're ticking, tick, 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 you need to, like when I say you need to be proactive in clinicals, you definitely need to be proactive in clinicals. We're watching you, right? And if we're watching you and all we see is that you just want to sit down at the computer and chat all day, that's not being proactive. Being proactive means that you're going to get up and do the things that you're so confident in. Show us that you are building on your prior knowledge and practicing to perfect your craft, and you're using the entire clinical area or setting as your learning environment. Because, for example, if there's a specialist nurse who is in a different bay and they're doing something, how about you ask, can I go to the other bay to see what the specialist nurse is doing? We know that the environment is yours. You're not only supposed to be in one bay. But if there's something interesting that's happening somewhere else, yes, ask to go. Ask to see what is happening. We will tag you along with us also, but we want you to be very proactive and build on your knowledge. Those are my 5 tips on how you can survive clinicals. If this video was very useful for you, how about you give it a like and share it with someone who you think might need it. And ring that post notification bell just so that you can be notified every single time I post a new video. Thank you for watching, and leave a comment below on how really you survive clinicals. And take care of yourself. Remember, let's grow together, learn together, and help each other. Bye.